Hi, I love Animal Crossing. If you can't tell, I love Animal Crossing. So take my word for it when I say that still love the game so much. I put so many hours into it, more hours than I probably should, but the game brings me so much joy. So when I say I'm about to rant, it's because it comes from a place of love. So we're coming up on a year that Animal Crossing New Horizons has been gifted to us, and we've been playing it, and my god, have we been blessed. But there is a lot of things that I'm still kind of, about, because I just feel like there's so much more from previous games. And I'm not talking about just the GameCube, the DS, the 3DS, and the Wii game. I'm not talking about those games. I'm also talking about Happy Home Designer and Pocket Camp, okay? There are things from all of the previous Animal Crossing games, except Amiibo Festival, that we could take ideas from and implement into New Horizons. Now don't get me wrong, New Horizons is the best Animal Crossing game. It is hands down the best. There's just things from previous games that are just gone that would make the game so much better if we had them. Let's start with the GameCube game. In the GameCube game, many people have already voiced this, but I also want to voice it, but in the GameCube game, there was actual personality amongst the villagers. Like, they actually, kind of backsassed and stuff, instead of New Horizons where they constantly just say, fun little things, or, they repeat the same thing over and over again. There was some spice to the villager personalities. I will admit that I have noticed that the villagers kind of have been saying different things with each new update. There's still some life lacking when it comes to the villagers. If you got to play the GameCube game before you played any other Animal Crossing game, I think we can all agree that the GameCube game is beautiful and perfect for nostalgia. It was something new at the time. We have evolved since then, and that's the only reason why I pick up the GameCube game, is just, to relive, some of my memories and just feel nostalgic again. It's why I listen to the music constantly. I listen to the GameCube music all the time. So then we get into Wild World. Wild World was, also progressive in that we got accessories and stuff. They did take it a step back, that they, took back holidays, but I understand that move. They were trying to remove holidays that could be religious based, like Christmas and stuff, Halloween, all that. They did not do that in Wild World. I understand that. So Wild World was good at the time, once again. Then you get into City Folk and New Leaf. What I loved about City Folk and New Leaf is that you knew right off the bat that there was a lot of content to explore. Like, you had whole separate areas to explore outside of, the village that you live in. Like, with City Folk, we knew we could take a bus over to a whole city, and you could go shop at Gracie Grace's, you could get your shoes shined, you could get your hair done, you could go and see a comedy act, if you would call it that, and you could get into Rossetti's house. Like, there were so many things you could do in the city, and being able to collect balloons from Phineas. Like, there was so many things that you could do in the city, and it was constantly changing because with the seasons, Gracie Grace would change its furniture and stuff. So there was just a lot to do in the city. And then you get into New Leaf, and there was a kind of similar city aspect, except it was just kind of like a main street, basically. But still, it was a whole separate area from the village where you could just go and visit, and there was all these stores, all these buildings that you could go into. Sure, you may have had to build them up, like for instance, the Fortune Teller building, you had to, build that up. The Dream Suite, you also had to build up. But the fact is that we knew right off the bat what kind of content we were gonna have. And New Leaf, we also had the chance to go to Tortimer Island, a whole nother place. So not only did we have a city place, but we also had Tortimer Island where we could go and play mini games with our friends. And then you get to New Horizons. And my god, being able to plot your villagers without plot resetting, oh man, that is a blessing. But then not only that, but being able to move shops around, being able to move your own house around, you didn't have to stay in one permanent spot. Unlike other games, it's just like they stepped it up completely, giving us tools to be able to terraform. Like, holy cow, that was mind-blowing for anybody in the Animal Crossing community. There are so many mind-blowing aspects to New Horizons that I'm just like, why does it feel empty? And I've thought about this a lot, and I feel like I know why it feels empty. As soon as New Leaf came out, New Horizons was being developed, so I know that they were taking notes about what we were doing in New Leaf and implemented new ideas into New Horizons to help those, you know, things that we were doing in New Leaf. We were doing a lot of crazy things in New Leaf. If you were a really avid New Leaf player, you know what I mean. There was a lot of amazing work done to those villages. And Nintendo saw what we were doing and they completely gave us new tools to be able to do what we were doing in New Leaf and more. I feel like there's been a lot of focus on being able to customize your island that we've drawn back from the villager aspect, you know, of them not really having that much of a personality. And we've also drawn back from the lack of furniture items. I mean, yes, there are a lot of furniture items, but if you look back at other Animal Crossing games, there's so many sets of furniture, like actual sets, that it's amazing. But in New Horizons, there's really not that many themed sets. Not that you need themed sets, but it's just like, there's just a lot of furniture. The catalog was so big in New Leaf, and now you look at New Horizons and it's just really lacking. I know I'm not the only person who misses food items from New Leaf. There were so many food items in New Leaf. We're barely starting to get food items now with, like, you know, seasonal items that you can buy in Nook's catalog on your phone. And that's great. So I mean, that's how I see it from the main games, but then you even get into Happy Home Designer and Pocket Camp. Happy Home Designer opened the gate in that there was like more to do. You got to actually decorate people's houses. You didn't get to just decorate your own. You got to decorate your favorite villagers' houses. You got to decorate houses for the NPCs. And there was so many new items that were introduced into Happy Home Designer. And then we got those items in New Leaf with the Welcome Amiibo update that came 3 years later after the game was launched. One of the reasons why I bring up Happy Home Designer is because they gave us an aspect of being able to decorate other people's homes and being able to do missions about that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, we had an actual job, unlike having just a job for Nook where we run a bunch of errands to try to pay off some of our debt. That was their game where we actually had a job besides, you know, tending to a village or an island. And so I was kind of hoping that since people were developing New Horizons, since New Leaf was released, I was hoping that they would kind of incorporate Happy Home Designer in that you could, like, possibly design villager homes or, you know, have something to do, you know, with the Happy Home Academy. I don't know, that was just something I hoped. Forgive me for having hopes and dreams, but I don't know, it was just something that I was kind of hoping for. And that's not to say that that's not gonna happen. There's such a lack of information of what we can expect with this game that it's just, that's why I'm kind of like, come on, where are we going? And then you get into Pocket Camp, and the reason why I even bring up Pocket Camp, I realize that Pocket Camp is a mobile game, and it's completely different than, you know, a video game. It's a lot easier to update than a video game. But the thing is that Pocket Camp is not going anywhere soon. I thought maybe with the release of New Horizons it was gonna start dying down, but oh no, honey, it lives on. It is going and it is strong. It is such a good game. Like, if you are a huge Animal Crossing fan, it is so fun because there's so many new things being added every month. There's 3 events every month that you get to participate in, and then there's little mini events, and then there's all these different tasks that you can do, and you know, you can decorate. There's new furniture all the time. Their catalog is booming, and that's probably why I keep playing Pocket Camp, because there's so many new things all the time and there's such a plethora of items to decorate with. I also bring up Happy Home Designer and Pocket Camp because in those games, the villagers are so interactive with furniture items. They like eat, they play, they swing, they fly, they do everything in those games. But then, like, you know, for instance, in New Horizons, we have like the little, you know, spinning teacups. What can you do with that except turn it on and off? Or if a villager does try to interact with an item, all they do is just like just push on it. But in Pocket Camp and Happy Home Designer, they actually like use the items as they should be used, especially in Pocket Camp. I just want to feel like my villagers are more alive. So comparing all of those things to New Horizons, I just feel like if we knew what was coming, we wouldn't feel so empty. You know what I mean? Because all through 2020, we kept expecting that as a holiday came up, we were gonna get an update and there was gonna be new items, new DIYs. There was gonna be, you know, a lot of different updates. But the thing is all the updates so far have been heavily focused around just holidays or seasons. So I'm really hoping that with 2021, they start really focusing on building it up to, you know, having more of a catalog and, you know, more things to do, because there's a lack of NPCs. When you look at other Animal Crossing games, there were so many NPCs, and in this one, there's just, it's lacking. I hope that this year, that they really focus on bringing a plethora of new items to our catalog and introducing new NPCs, whether it be through Harvey's Island or maybe we get a whole island that we can visit and there's like stores there and stuff, just something, because I mean we went from New Leaf that had a whole, you know, Main Street section and an island where we could play mini games at, to none of that. We just have some NPCs that visit Harv's Island sometimes, and then I don't know, that's really it. It's just all on the island. There's not much more than that. I'm hoping that I can look back at this video one day and be like, wow, they, you know, finally delivered what I was hoping for. But even if they don't, I am so ecstatic and happy with this game. Like, this game is honestly top notch. I love it very much, but it's because I love it so much and I love this series so much that I'm still just kind of like, it could be better. It's just, it's at the cusp of being the perfect Animal Crossing game. It's there, it's right there. So I really hope that this year we can actually get more out of the game, whether it be jobs, shop updates, NPC visits, a whole new island to explore. I don't care. We need more than just holiday additions. We need more than that. Watch there be a trailer or an update that like gets announced right after I finish this video, and then it just makes me look really dumb. I've been meaning to make this video for a long time. I just kept putting it off because I was just hoping that maybe something would change how I felt by now, but nothing has. On the other side, I feel like if change is about to happen, and change meaning like we're gonna get a whole bunch of new content, it's gonna happen soon because we've just finished all the major holidays. Yes, we have like Festival coming up, but then after Festival is Easter or Bunny Day. We're gonna make a full circle, so they've got to do something, and I really do think, I really do hope that Nintendo worked really hard all this time between New Leaf and now to make sure that this game would last us a long time. And I think that's why it feels a little empty compared to other games right now, because I'm hoping that they just want to release the content slowly so that way it lasts a long time and we keep coming back to the game rather than having everything at the start and then we get tired of it after 2 months. That's what I really hope. Well, I think I've said everything I wanted to say. I'm sure I'm gonna edit this and be like, wait, there was one more thing I forgot to mention, but really do think that's really what I'm looking for. A bigger catalog, more NPCs. Please give the villagers some personality. If somehow you stumbled across this video without knowing my corner of the internet, hi, I'm Ash. Thank you for watching, and I hope you consider subscribing because I love making content about really anything I like, and I just really like Nintendo, so a lot of content is surrounded around Nintendo. And for those of you who want to support the channel further, I have a print shop where I sell photographic prints that I have taken and captured across, you know, the world really. And by the world I really just mean like, you know, America and Japan. But I really love those prints, I'm really proud of them. So even if you just take a look, I really do appreciate it. You can also catch me on Twitch on Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays, where I stream pretty much anything, you know, Nintendo related usually. So if you want to stop by and say hi sometime, I would love that. Well, thank you again for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.